Police would come to my house with complaints from the parents or the neighbors. I would always say, can you do something?
How about you?
Yeah, can you do something?
Yeah, you're the mother. Yeah, exactly.
Well, you need to go out to the juvenile court and do the necessary thing that they need you to do. Juvenile court will send me back. My word wasn't good enough.
And, of course, the Nathaniel Abraham issue with his father.
Does it make you sad sometimes that your father's not around?
Yeah, and it makes me mad sometimes, too.
Join the club.
Yeah, really.
Because it's just leaving my mama there all by herself.
That 60 Minutes interview had Jeff Feiger, meanwhile, sneering about how Nathaniel Abraham is not going to get a jury of his
The rest
peers.
of the world needs to see that he's a child, and they need to hear and see who he is versus the way he's been portrayed by the prosecutor.
Oh, man.
Goes on today in Pontiac.
Isn't that something, honestly, really, throughout that interview? It's just like, hey, look, the system failed me. You know, why doesn't nobody would do anything. Nobody would do anything. And here it's the mother, you know? Oh, ghastly.
Well, we have other things to worry about, too, in Detroit. For instance, who is the schoolgirl predator? Police Chief Benny Napoleon in Detroit suspects one man might be doing many of these. Benny asking the feds for help with these multiple schoolgirl attacks. They think it could be some creep who's been preying on girls for 2 years and maybe has suddenly gotten a lot bolder. Boeing still sniffing around the idea of sabotage over the Flight 800 crash, performing tests on wreckage of the Boeing plane, looking for micro-proof of a bomb or a missile. And they have their hands full, too, with 767s, which appear to have some loose bolts from the manufacturers. The latest flying nightmare is being on a Boeing that might have a loose bolt that attaches the tail of the fuselage.
Whoa.
Boeing apparently trying to be casual about the report.
Whoa.
So it could be hundreds of Boeing jets with improperly tightened bolts out there.
Oh, great.
And Wall Street could be bumming out today after the decision by a judge last week that Microsoft, in fact, is a bossy monopoly. And as they anticipate the consequences and the punishment for that, the stock market is expected to go major Microsoft on them. Arnie Schwarzenegger is going to be on the SmackDown Thursday on UPN. Latest, one of the stars to join wrestling on UPN 50. And Dennis Rodman, Carmen Electra had a little wrestling match over the weekend. Beat up and bummed out after they were arrested Friday morning at a Florida hotel, the Swanky Bentley in Sobey, after a domestic bash fest that was loud enough to disturb neighbors and get them arrested on misdemeanor battery charges, both with minor injuries from a physical fight. Each was released on $2,500 bail, their lawyer calling it an overreaction of some kind. George W. Bush says...
On whose part?
Law enforcement, probably.
Well, next time, just kill each other, all right? You have to deal with it.
I don't know. She looked pretty nasty.
Oh, she looked pretty
out.
beat up?
She always does, but she looked a little bit drug out.
So this also
They had
is
her
the
cut.
system's fault.
Oh, of course, of course.
George W. Bush says, yeah, it looks like he's kind of stupid, but he knows he's no genius. He does, however, have common sense, and after that pop quiz last week where he was clueless about world leaders, he admits people can trick him up, but he says he's plenty smart, and he has good instincts.
Wait, trick him up?
Yeah.
They asked him who the 4 leaders of 4 countries were. There's nothing tricky about that. Why does everyone act like this is so outrageous that someone would ask him who the leaders of 4 countries are? And it's even more outrageous, apparently, that anyone would think he ought to know. Basically, everyone I've heard in his party and the Democratic Party says,
come out to
oh,
say,
well,
you
God,
know.
it'd be quite unusual to know who the leaders of these 4 countries
Oh,
were, even though they're in the
absolutely.
news all the time.
Oh, yeah, it's like, no, when you're governor, you deal with governing your state, and you don't really get involved in foreign affairs.
I have no idea.
Hey, look.
Nobody knows who they are. Do you know who they are? No, you don't know who they are. I mean, so what if he's running for president?
Yeah. Hey, listen.
The guy's busy raising money. He doesn't have to worry about who's president of India.
Sure, it's like Bill Clinton says. Like, once you get in there a week or two, you learn all the names. No biggie.
Yeah, just raise the money and the rest will take care of itself.
Yeah, really, it's not a big deal. Everybody and their brother came out to support him, honestly. So it's like, well, all right.
Okay.
I thought you had to study a certain amount to be president.
Apparently
You have
not.
to know a certain amount of things.
Apparently
But I guess it's all about raising money.
Yeah. Well, the biggest thing is trying to find anybody to run, period. You know? Isn't it weird? The list of people that really seem to be available is just like, wow, that few, huh?
I'll tell you what the worst thing was not only that he didn't know, which I think, personally, if I were running for president, I would expect myself to know stuff like that. I mean, I think you'd be studying this stuff constantly.
Apparently not.
But what was even worse was the way he handled it.
Oh,
Didn't he sound
yeah.
like an
Somebody on one of the
Really
weekend
did.
news shows said, he should have at least laughed it off, but he really looked ham-handed when he didn't have a sense of humor about it.
Yeah, and he's sort of
dull.
He was sort of reaming the interviewer to, what is this, 50 questions?
Yeah, right.
What do you mean the president of another country?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
And then he throws a question at him about where else, Mexico.
Right. Yeah. Do you know who the foreign minister of
Yeah.
Mexico is? The guy's a reporter.
Yeah. Really, he should
God, be glad he didn't ask you about how much coke you've had in the last week. Jesus.
No, it really was weird, boy. And the camera was right on his face, only just like real fast, quick machine gunning back at that reporter.
James Brown
Jeez.
is probably going to go on tour with the Isaiah Shoals family. I think he's teaming up with
What
Isaiah
does
Shoals. one of the-
Columbine have to do with James Brown?
Well, Columbine, they paid him to throw that reference in.
Brown's sister apparently came up with the idea that they could hang out on an anti-hate tour together.
Well, James Brown,
Isaiah
certainly
Shoals.
a symbol of nonviolence. If he's not around his wife anyway.
Oh,
Definitely the performer I would use for an anti-violence program.
no. Anti-hate.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Not violent.
Big difference.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, violence is never fueled by hate.
Shoals' parents are meeting with James Brown and his people today.
And it's been 10 years since he shot up his wife's closet and shot at her car.
Yeah.
He didn't shoot up a school.
Forgot about that. No. Of the very Harry Gary Sharon matter that has been finished off because of last Friday's inevitable message on Sharon's website that he was gone from the band, not fired, not quitting, but by mutual agreement, things just weren't working out. Eddie Van Halen says going through changes is daunting, but you got to.
I think for one, people don't like change. They get set in their ways. They want, spiritual people never accept the same. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm personally not that way. I welcome change with open arms. Because once you stop changing, it's kind of like a tree, Once it stops growing and branching out, it dies.
Now, there's some discussion as to whether David Lee Roth will be joining them again.
That's what needs to
He said
happen.
a couple years ago that he did not want that to happen. Eddie and
he'd
David
do it
didn't
in
get
a
along.
second.
Oh, God,
But
he
after the
needs to
third
do this.
album and the fact that they've struggled with 3 producers on this latest album,
Ew,
I'll
yikes.
say who is doing any of the vocals on some of the 9 songs that they've gotten together. But Danny Korchmar was one of the producers, wasn't he? Like Carole King and the Eagles producer at some time. He was.
I don't know.
And it was sort of a weird thing when they announced that he was going to produce that album because I was like, God, that sounds a little too soft for Van
Yeah,
Halen.
really.
Should have an edge.
Well, you know what's strange, too? When they were talking about a couple of weeks ago, when they were interviewing Sharon,
They were thick as thieves.
yeah, he said that, they did the basic tracks of the record. He even joked that Van Halen switched singers every 10 years, so he had a good 7 left. And according to a statement issued last week, Sharon, all of a sudden, the new musical ventures, and the band wishes him well. So it went from everything being totally cool and him saying how happy he was with VH, and now... But I don't want to say anything
That was
bad about
inevitable.
Sharon,
No, because
even now.
you'll get shot down.
Boy, yeah.
And Bobbitt's soft-serve mutilated penis is going to be on eBay on an auction website where they
They're
hope to
auctioning
get...
off his penis?
Yeah, it's totaled though, so it's only like, well, the highest bid so far is $495.
His manager, Yates, that ever-busy Robert Yates, says they're thinking about getting $50,000 for some of the graphic photos of the reattachment surgeries as well as his penis enlargement surgeries. And the Japanese, who absolutely adore anything Bobbitt does, he ate pizza on TV, and they paid him $5,000 to do it.
Oh, my God.
That's where they predict some of the money will be coming for those mangled penis photos. Trudy Daniels with Rock and Roll Radio News.
Will you go up on eBay and see what the bids are for these? I bet he gets $50 max for any of this
Oh,
stuff.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Again, I want to see Bobbitt in a Godzilla flick.
I'm telling you, gay porn is the only thing left for him that will really generate any money. Gay porn.
I think you're
he needs
right.
to face the facts.
Because I don't know what's left. He's done hetero porn. And that was, again, a marshmallow and a coin slot for 7 hours.
Sports brought to you by the University of Phoenix, Michigan campus. Call 1-800-834-2438 for more info about the University of Phoenix. It's the University for Working Adults. And get off Lions. What a great win. 7 lead changes, the final one giving the Lions a 31-27 win over St. Louis. Gus Frerotte bails him out again. Second time this season, leading that incredible final drive. 4th and 26, and we go 57 yards to Crowell.
Who would have
Somebody's
thought?
got to be shooting themselves in the St. Louis backfield.
Oh, I know it.
Jeez.
I know it. Running there right between two guys.
Then third and 15, I got the interference call. Lions drive followed the Rams go-ahead score. Warner hitting the tackle eligible, and then the two-pointer. Crowell finished with 8 catches for 163 yards. Farrat, 12 out of 16, 209 and 2 TDs. Detroit's 4th straight win, and we're in the number 1 spot in the conference now. Ron Rice talking about a nice one. He had an interception, by the way, that capped things off.
You could feel the floor vibrate under your feet, and it was just tremendously loud. What was funny to me, though, I saw fans walking up the stairs, leaving, and then they throw the pass to Crowell, and then everybody turns around, and it's filled right back up. Even at the top, everyone went straight back to the seats.
Those fans have been here since the 50s, right?
And they've been there since the 50s, because they know what happens at the end of the game, I guess, but not today.
That was a good remark.
I love Ron Rice. Great player. He's really coming alive back there.
Yeah, Terry Fair, great, huh? Wasn't that something?
Yeah, Terry Fair's playing well, too. You know, in the defense of the Lions fans, I have to say, there is nothing worse than trying to get out of the Silverdome. They've had a lot of games that have ended on the last play or two, with hands and field goals or whatever. It is so miserable. You're trying to get out of a revolving door. You're trying to let 80,000 people out through 8 revolving doors. They're like 8 revolving doors. It's the most ridiculous thing you could ever imagine. I'm surprised.
We're out of that hellhole.
I'm surprised no one's ever been killed because people are jamming 2 and 3 into a revolving door. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen get out of that joint.
I know it. And even getting in, I'll never forget the Rolling Stones. Oh, Jesus.
Well, yeah, getting through that place. We, of course, have found the big weasel maneuver to get to our seats, but we will not reveal that publicly. No. Because if you have to walk around the concourse there.
Oh, my.
In the middle of the concourse now, they have just plain beer lines, and people are lined up all the way across the concourse. So you're kind of trying to fight your way through lines. It's just a debacle when that joint is full.
God, I'll never forget for the Stones, and I mean, your chest is just jammed up against the back of the guy in front of you, just squeezed together. And at one point, as the crowd is just sort of in a wave-like motion, our feet left the ground, moving with the people, and then Trish dropped her purse.
Oh!
I had to go basically scuba diving. It was just like it's down there somewhere, and I just went down.
I would have had to break up at that moment and say, you know what, I'd love to get your purse,
I know.
but...
I know. I can't believe I actually was able to retrieve it at the last second, but it was just like scuba diving.
I guess
Insane.
some people, too, were, during the Walter Payton moment of silence, people were yelling.
Oh,
It's kind of a
no
bummer.
way.
But they were yelling sweetness and stuff like that. I don't know if it was that big a deal.
Mark was just going, only in Detroit.
Yeah. No, not only in Detroit.
No?
I was watching, I forgot what game it was on TV, and they did the moment. So you could hear
Is that
people
right?
yelling.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, Chicago had a big moment with that, too. Of course, they beat Green Bay. Isn't that something?
Yeah, Green Bay is 2 behind now. They fall to the Bears 14-13.
Wow.
Bears block a 28-yard field goal attempt with no time left. Glenn Milburn, by the way. I mean, what a piece of crap he was here. I mean, he was a lump of you-know-what.
Hi.
And he's playing great for the Bears. Doing a great job on the returns.
Hi.
It's
And the
always that way.
49-yard touchdown run for the Bears as they win. Tampa Bay beat New Orleans 31-16. Elsewhere in the NFL, Jets beat the Cards 12-7. Baltimore whipping the Browns. Bills beat the Redskins behind Doug Flutie. Jacksonville 30-7 over Atlanta. Indianapolis is 6-2. 25-17 they beat the Chiefs. Carolina beat the Eagles. Pittsburgh got 2 touchdowns from Bettis, our fantasy player. They beat the Niners 27-6. Seahawks not only win the game yesterday against Cincinnati 37-20, but Joey Galloway signed, and he joins our fantasy team.
Yeah, told you.
It was a risky pick. We missed him, but I think he could come up big. Denver beat the Chargers 33-17, and Miami shutting out Tennessee 17-0. Dallas at Minnesota tonight. That would be an interesting Monday night game. About 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Actually, Minnesota's kind of interesting with George, but I'm so sick of Dallas. Why do we always have to see Dallas?
I'm really
They're
tired
finished.
of Dallas. Well, Dallas playing Green Bay, aren't they,
Next week?
Yeah.
Is it?
I'm pretty sure.
New AP poll, Florida State number 1, the Hokies number 2.
Whoa. You
I'm
must
so
be
nervous.
psyched.
I know, I'm totally nervous. I'm
Nervous,
wigged
yeah.
out. I just feel like they're either going to lose to Miami or Boston College. I'm protecting myself against the letdown.
Yeah. Emotional barrier.
Number 3, Tennessee, then Florida and Kansas State. Wings lost a wild game last night, 3-2. More on that in just a minute. But Mr. Adam Sandler's on the phone.
No way.
Yes, it is. It's the Atomizer. Hey, Adam.
Hey guys, how are you?
How you doing?
Good morning.
Hey.
How's life?
Pretty good. How about you?
Feeling good.
Yeah?
Yeah, even on a Monday morning,
I think so.
doing radio.
Yeah, no, it's going good.
Yeah.
I'm looking. I'm in a hotel. I'm looking at the whole park here in New York. It looks nice. I got to see in the marathon. I got to see the guys enter the park here.
Oh.
That was cool.
Now, how are Stan and Judy with your new CD, Stan and Judy's Kid?
I think it took time for them to. My dad's always all right with my albums. He can sit back and enjoy when my mother's not around. But my mother definitely has she has a reaction to it.
She probably doesn't like the dick jokes. I'm just guessing.
She screams "why" at me a lot. Why do you need to do that? And she gets. She has her friends,
You just tell her it's
She
like,
doesn't want her friends to hear her boy talk that way.
yeah.
Now, have you ever suggested or thought about just not telling her that you have a new CD out, maybe just slipping it to your dad?
We did that to my grandmother. We got away with it. She passed away. She never knew about it. It was funny. My father used to call me up, and I'd say, "Yeah." I remember my first album. It went platinum. It was like a big deal in my house. Everyone was like, "Adam has a platinum record." And I was like, "Let me tell Grandma." And then my father was like, "No. Grandma does not know about the record."
Was she allowed to watch you on Saturday Night Live?
That was another thing with my grandmother. She was allowed, but she'd fall asleep.
Oh, man.
I'd call her up. I'd say, "How'd you like that one?" Yeah. I missed it, but my friends tell me that it was very good.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Now, She Comes Home to Me is a song that we've been playing on the morning show here. Oh,
Yeah,
great song.
Yeah. Played a lot.
Nice arrangements, too.
Yeah, it's very pretty tune.
Now, is there some slut in your background that you used to go out with? Or
This was just a comedy song. No, I never was in love with a hooker. But if it happened, it happened.
Yeah.
Well, it's a really funny concept because when I was listening to it last night, I'm thinking you're calling in today, so I'm listening to the CD a little more carefully. And that hooker or that slut or whoever she is going home to somebody. I mean, there is somebody at the end of the night.
Exactly.
And
the guy's a good man. He's a strong guy. He can deal with the fact that she's got to do what she's got to do, but he gets to have fun with her. He gets to go eat Chinese food with her.
My favorite line in the song is she'll spank your ass in the back of a van. Is that it?
Yeah, something like that. Slap your ass. Yeah.
Yeah, she'll slap your ass in the back of a van.
I wrote that with Robert Smigel. He's a great writer, and he writes for Saturday Night Live. He does a lot of, he's been doing it for years. And
doesn't he do the ambiguously gay duo?
Yes, he does.
Yeah, he's great.
He's one of the greatest. And he was at my house out in California. We were hanging out, and I told him about the idea. Like a while ago, I wanted to write a swing tune about a man in love with who's married to a hooker, and do it like a Bobby Darin Sinatra kind of tune.
Yeah.
So we just wrote that in our living room. Actually, we wrote it, and then I said, I don't know, man. I don't know if we should do it. It's kind of, I don't know, maybe it's too much. And then we both agreed that it was too much. And then he flew back to New York and called me up and sang it to me on the phone. And he said, "We gotta do it. You gotta do it." And he talked me into putting it on.
I gotta believe that Judy, your mom, that's probably the biggest bummer on the
You know what's insane? My mother, that one doesn't get her that much because she goes, "At least your voice sounds good." He just takes the words out of her head and just listens to the melody.
Now you got the sequence of stuff on there too about you're trying to talk dirty to a chick, which is a really hilarious concept, and you just have a habit of saying the one thing that just makes her leave because it's so stupid.
Right, yeah.
Did you have a personal experience like that?
No, but I have always had difficulty being cool all the way with people. I've always, when I start off strong, get things going and being smooth is I always end up saying something that makes people realize I'm not that cool, and that was the whole thing. That was what that whole thing was about. It was just, I don't know, it's just about a guy who doesn't know how to talk cool about his own Just to tell you.
This business about you not doing well with the chicks, though, it's total bunk. Aren't you? You're dating a supermodel now, aren't you?
I got a girlfriend.
Is she a model?
She has modeled before.
Yeah, of course she has.
Yeah.
She's a nice girl. She hangs out with me and tolerates me.
Is she there right now?
No, she's not here right now.
Is
She's
that right?
not, okay.
She's visiting her mom.
Yeah.
And
Did
my
you-
mom.
Did you ever imagine, though, 10, 15 years ago, that models would be coming after you because you'd be so successful in movies?
Never thought about it. Never thought about it. But I always thought about doing what I'm doing. I always thought about doing the work. You know, when I was 17, I started thinking about doing comedy, and I'm glad I'm getting to do that. And then meeting a nice girl, that was a bonus.
Well, at least you haven't been photographed for the Globe, you know, on the beach, like out of shape or something.
Oh, I bet I have, man. I've seen people shoot me with my fat gut. I actually, I was in Bermuda one time, and I was with my girlfriend hanging out, and I see this guy, and he's taking pictures of me, and I walk over him, I go, "What are you doing, man? Well, what?" And he's like, "I'm on my honeymoon." And I said, "Why are you taking the pictures, though?" He's like, "Oh, just thought I'd make some extra money."
Uh-oh.
And I said, I'm just hanging out, man. Just try to relax with the pictures, all right?
That must drive you nuts.
Whatever. It doesn't matter. I mean, I'm a fat man, and I live with it.
Yeah, but you have to...
No, Adam, you didn't used to be fat. Have you put on some weight?
I'm about 260 right now.
You are not.
If you were...
You know, I saw him on
would say packing on pounds.
the Saturday Night Live 25-year thing.
Yeah.
You did look a little heavier than I remember you.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
But not 260. No way.
No. It's all coming on the chin.
Yeah, because the Globe usually singles everybody out for that and uses their infamous packing on a passel of pounds, you know.
Oh, is that right?
Oh, yeah, all the time.
You know, after the Wedding Singer, anybody else have this gut feeling here? I thought for sure he and Drew Barrymore would be an item. Because you guys were, it was so cute. It was such a sweet movie and all that. And it was very funny, too.
Thank you.
So anything happened with
No.
No?
She's a good girl. She's actually in doing something in this movie I'm doing right now.
We know how good a girl she is.
Oh.
What do you mean she's a good girl? I could tell just the way she looked at you in that movie.
Boy,
It was real.
Yeah, in 2 seconds she's going to be in a Catholic girl outfit for you.
Yeah. No, you know what it was?
You tried.
No, just a nice friendship. A good girl. She's friends with my girlfriend.
Really?
Oh, too bad.
And you used to date Alicia Silverstone, didn't you?
No.
No?
No. Hey, fellas. Talk about my record. And out my fat chin.
Come on, this is every guy's fantasy, though. He's sort of funny in
man.
class, and the next thing you know, even though maybe he's just a tad nerdy, he ends up this huge success, and supermodels are falling all over him.
I'm not nerdy. I'm more buffoon-like.
Yeah.
Isn't it amazing, really? Look at the movies you've been in, and you must command quite a rate these days.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the girls he's thinking.
Hey, fellas.
Yeah.
You're John Witherspoon, a Detroit native.
John Witherspoon?
John Witherspoon, a Detroit native. It was just in my movie. We were just talking about Detroit.
Yes.
And he's a great comedian. Do you guys go see John ever?
You know, I don't, but I'd be on your recommendation alone, Adam.
Oh, sure.
I'll check him
He's a
out.
funny man. He's funny as hell in this movie, and a Detroit fella.
When is the movie coming out?
Coming out in November.
Mm-hmm.
Got a lot of nice people in it. Patricia Arquette and Harvey Keitel's playing my dad, and Rodney Dangerfield.
Oh, man.
Oh, Rodney's in there?
Rodney and Lovitz and Dana Carvey
Wow.
and everybody's being funny.
How's Rodney
Wow.
doing?
Rodney's he's the king.
Yeah.
He's the king. He's just a great man. I talked to him on the
something.
phone a few times, and he's writing a lot of jokes for the movie.
Oh, no kidding. Oh, that's
That's
good.
gonna be cool.
Was it hard to get? I mean, that's a lot of big names you got in this movie, Adam.
Yeah. It was. We wrote it for him, and we called them up and sent it to them. They were cool.
Yeah, and then everything worked out well.
Everything's all right.
Yeah. Wow.
All right, hey fellas, I'm split.
Adam. All right, man.
Nice talking to you.
Nice talking to you.
All right, and thanks for playing the stuff, and say hi to Detroit.
Yeah, we love it.
All right,
Yeah,
buddy.
it's really good.
Say hi to Pine Knob.
Okay.
There you
All
go.
right,
See
later.
ya. Bye-bye. All right. The Atomizer.
Atomizer.
He's got him lined up about 20 radio stations in a row. He sounds very relaxed, but it's really not a very relaxed scene.
No, must be a real drag. Monday morning. Oh, God.
All
But
right,
that's
well,
what you got to do, man, you know?
let's play this song. She Comes Home to Me. I love this song. And there's a lot of good lines in it, but for some reason, she'll slap your ass in the back of a van. Really just gets me every time.
That does it.
Yeah.
It's so perfect, so cheap.
Though I have always been a fool for love, I have finally made my score. I got a girl and I don't mean to boast, but she loves me the most. Even though she's a highly paid whore. She'll give the way she can stuff 3 in her cheek, but she comes home to me. She'll do the groom and the best man. She'll slap your ass in the back of a van, but she comes home to me. She could 9 guys in a row, but still have a 10th for me. And I'm the only one who gets to kiss them lips, unless you pay an extra 50. So mister, don't you fall in love, 'cause I'm the only cat who doesn't wear a glove. Since her heart belongs to me. She has a throat that just won't quit. She can take all of it. I'd still have room for your balls, but she shops in the malls for me. She'll say 12, then call back and say 1. But I don't care, I know it's just work, not fun. When she you, Jack, don't you think she's not thinking of me? She'll go down on a yak, lick a horse's sack, but strictly for the cash. And it's only me who doesn't pay a fee to watch her put a water bottle in her gash. Put a water bottle in her gash. She'll let you suck her till they're leaking. But don't you dare try to go antiquing, 'cause she does that with me. Her is sweet as honey, but when she moans, it's just for the money. Unless she's sitting on me. She'll damn your ass with a mouse, but she won't do it in our house. Tough luck, Jack, she knows that don't fly with me. She might eat your wife's nuts, but she won't tell you where you left your socks. She rolled up and down your fat, but it was me who took her to the Meg Ryan flick. She's got a face full of nuts and a mouth full of. She's done steal Larry King, 4 new kids on the block. She blew the Winnipeg Jets right after a game, but they never got to know her actual name. On your face she will piss, on your chest she might poop, but she won't prepare her famous vegetable soup. That's simply reserved. Oh, she'll bite you, she'll spank you, but she'll never thank you for free. Baby, come on to me. Come on.
Just slap your ass in the back of a van. Now that sounds like a special lady, doesn't it?
Yeah, real special.
My other favorite Adam Sandler related line is,
"She's a cool chick with a hot ass."
That's a limo driver, wasn't it? The
Yeah,
wedding
his
singer?
friend.
Yeah.
"She's a cool chick with a hot ass."
Oh, boy.
Little Nicky's the movie. He's working now with all these people.
Little Nicky.
Harvey Keitel is his dad. That sounds funny. But the last one kind of didn't work out too well, did it? What was it, Big Daddy? Yeah. And that was right off The Waterboy. I'm really partial to his first couple of movies.
Oh, sure.
Happy Gilmore. Oh. Wedding Singer's really good. Billy, it's not bad. Oh, it's his best. What? Happy go. Anyway, a lot of big people line up for this one, Little Nicky and the CD, Stan and Judy's Kid, Adam Sandler. WRIF. It's 18 in front of 10 o'clock. We'll be right back.
Drew and Mike. It's the best way to get educated about ED and what can be done to treat it. 101 WRIF, The Riff.
Hey, I'm here at Meet.
WRIF.
I can't help wondering if there will be a hit or two on the website when Trudy's Kiss on Friday night at Dr. Dirty gets up there. I'm thinking there'll be a hit or two. It's not up there yet. It may take us a day or so. And we'll let you know. You think there might be a hit on that? Trudy's Kiss gets on the web?
A couple hundred.
There might be a couple hits.
Server boy.
And I have to say that part of the kiss is not on the video. So I don't want to hear anybody whining that it's short. It's not her fault.
Nope.
That the cameraman had a boner the size of Montana.
Okay.
Yeah.
I tried to do the best. Yeah,
You did a good job.
deliver.
I mean, what you saw of it, Mike, you only saw like 7 or 8 seconds of it. But it was not a peck.
Oh, God, no. In fact, it was aggressive. Balls out. All hell was breaking loose. Yeah, it wasn't just a laid-back, soft kind of thing. It was just
somebody
like, wham!
emailed that maybe the mindset was that I was trying to get it over with. But,
you were trying to get it
by
over
being
with.
aggressive?
Yeah, by just diving in.
Well, you dove
But the
in.
sensuality, I don't know. I think the edge off the sensuality was the kamikaze's fault.
Crowd.
Yeah, which I ordered, by the way. Sorry.
No, that's okay. It was necessary at the time, I thought.
It's funny, of all the things I thought that Trudy would need to get through this, I mean, I suppose I could have probably found a Valium somewhere. I don't know what. But I selected a kamikaze. It just seemed like the thing she needed.
Perfect.
Yeah.
What's
Along
in
with
that?
that big beer.
What's in
That big old beer.
I don't know, Mike. I just know what it does to me.
I think it's a million
Had a
things,
calming
isn't it?
effect. It's funny because I took it backstage too, and the girls were like, "Is there any more left of that?" Just before, I mean, just where we went on.
It's the Lesbo Kiss drink. There's no way around. No way around.
That and a big beer.
And a big beer.
Big beer.
Big
Big
beer.
beer buzz.
And
It was gonna be.
Trudy and Michelle, who was selected Bunny. And it came down to Michelle and Bunny. Oh, there's Bunny
Wait,
and
back that up, Mark. Let me see that again. I only saw that once.
it's Bunny and the
Victoria.
other consolation woman, Victoria.
Yeah.
It's a good kiss. There's Trudy. Mike, this is an edit. This has been edited, hasn't it?
It certainly seems like it. Because he was in the front.
Gee, the crowd
front of
doesn't even seem to notice.
God, that is a wild-ass kiss.
There's eye contact afterwards, too. If it was two guys, there'd be no eye contact forever.
Because I
For
think,
a life sentence of no eye contact.
now, are the women...
Podell just walked in.
Oh, yeah. Now,
Can't
as
help it.
women, do you judge each other's kissing? You know, like if you end up kissing a guy, it's like, is he a good kisser or not? When it's girl on girl, is there that same judgment or?
Well, you kind of have to. I mean, it was the first time, so you have to evaluate.
No, she was all over you with. I think she really had her tongue going, but I'm not so sure you were reciprocating. Were you? Or?
The cameraman focusing in on
Yeah.
undergarments on the stage, which
That's
were
what I
thrown up.
thought.
Ooh, look at that. There's Victoria kissing Trudy. Whoa. You said, I think we should drink more, or what'd she say?
Yeah, okay.
It was all
I was
echo.
already ready
Try
to
some
go.
more backstage, or something like that.
No, 'cause-
Let's hear it again. I did it.
And we did.
Look at my face. My eyes are like, huh? Look at my cop pants.
Oh, your cop pants.
I've got so much junk in my pockets. I'll never pass for a cop. I got like 3 sets of keys in one, a phone and a wallet in the other.
Oh, man.
They were kind of weighed down.
I know. Trudy and Bunny exchanged a little glance there. Did you see that?
The Bunny is
Back
cute.
that up. Let's see that glance between Trudy and Bunny.
Shoot. Now,
They shared a moment.
I kiss Bunny, too.
Now, see,
Just on the lips.
if I was running that camera, I would have been all over from the waist down Bunny, because it looks to me
Watch
like
this.
she's got
Oh,
those
look at
thigh
that.
highs
Look
on.
at that glance they shared.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And that smile.
Well,
Oh, now we're slow-moing it.
Trudy, you have an expression
smile.
almost as if to say, God, I've kissed so many girls in my lifetime, if you people only knew. You know,
That is an incorrect reading of that facial expression, Minister.
He's been waiting all morning to say
Thinks
that.
he's such a forensic scientist who believes he knows it all. He really does.
And I do. I
And
generally
I
do.
know a little bit about you
generally
as
do.
well, Minister, so
Well,
be
but-
careful.
Oh,
Well,
whoa.
I haven't been kissing any guys every other night.
Every other night.
Now, back it up. How come
Hold on,
they
we have
didn't
to-
get
we
Bunny
have
from
to
the
break.
waist down? All right, yes.
You can look for more Bunny during the commercial.
Yeah,
We have to
okay.
break, though.
Okay.
We'll be right back. It's 9:57 at the road.
Drew and Mike.
Ah, you kids crack me up.
101 W.
Watch it.
I love
F. The Riff.
We, the people, the sovereign citizens of the Internet,
do hereby declare our independence from the old way of shopping.
we assert our freedom to pay whatever price we think is fair.
And in order to form a more perfect consumer union,
we, the citizens of the Internet,
have chosen a better way to shop.
Presenting Mercado, a revolutionary new way to shop for your favorite brands on the Internet. With Mercado, you can actually drive prices down while you watch. The more people who want to buy a particular item, the lower the price goes.
We hold these savings to be self-evident.
At Mercado, you're in control of the price you pay. See for yourself how it works at Mercado.com. That's MERCATA.com.
With liberty and an amazing deal for all.
Mercado, bringing buying power to the people.
And now for a limited time at Mercado.com, you can get a free $50 shopping spree just for registering. That's MERCATA.com.
You can take a right to Amsterdam or take a left to Tokyo. Northwest Airlines flies that way, whichever way you want to go.
You know what's great about living in a Northwest Airlines hub city? You can just name it, and Northwest Airlines will take you there.
There's a whole lot of world out there, just northwest from here.
And that's not all, because everyone in and around Detroit can save big on fun weekend getaways with Northwest Airlines weekly Cyber Saver fares. These exclusive online bargains are the lowest nonstop round-trip fares around. And new Cyber Saver fares are posted every Wednesday morning only at NWA.com. Just find the fare you want and take off on Saturday. With Northwest Airlines Cyber Saver fares at NWA.com, you've got the best deals in town for getting out of town.
Excuse me, Angel. There's been a mistake. My application to heaven has been rejected.
Yep. Next.
But I'm a monk. I've spent my life serving the monastery.
And serving the monastery coffee. Sinfully bad coffee.
Oh, my.
You know, a better man might have stopped at 7-Eleven on the way to the Abbey.
7-Eleven?
As in, oh, thank heaven for dark, rich French roast coffee.
French roast?
Yep. Almost as good as their Cafe Select coffee. Brewed every 30 minutes from fresh Arabica beans.
But I...
Here, brother. Calm your nerves with a cup of creamy chai latte. A blend of black tea, milk, honey, and spices. Or would you prefer some gourmet hot chocolate? Or French vanilla cappuccino?
All from 7-Eleven?
And guaranteed fresh.
About 44 out. Supposed to be 60 today. It'll be mostly sunny. And 65 tomorrow. 55 on Saturday with a few clouds. And 44 now at WRIF. David Letterman's top 10 from last night. Top 10 ways George W. Bush can squander his lead. And, well, he's not squandering his lead. I guess McCain is kind of catching up or cutting into him in New Hampshire. McCain's a weenie, by the way. I know a lot about McCain.
Do you? Because
Yeah.
when I was reading that, and suddenly the Bush camp is a little taken aback by this guy. I hadn't heard of this guy. Well, I mean, what is
John McCain?
Yeah,
They're all.
they really are.
He was part of the Keating Five. Kept an SNL
was
open,
he?
yeah, which allowed old people to lose some or all of their life savings.
Oh no, kidding!
Because
He was part of that.
Charlie Keating gave him a lot of money, and he takes money from all kinds of people that he legislates on their behalf, and then runs around saying that he wants to put an end to the current system.
The audacity.
The way donations are done.
Isn't it horrible?
Yeah.
These guys trotting around like this
Also used to
stuff.
fly around on Charlie Keating's plane.
Oh, God, how sickening.
Yeah.
And there he is out there.
His wife was mixed up in business with him, as was the other senator in Arizona.
And yet, this.
He's the second best guy, I guess, Republican Party to come up with.
Actually has the Bush camp all askew. Unreal.
Well, here's the Letterman's list from last night. Top 10 ways George W. Bush can squander his lead. Develop rockin' alter ego Chris W. Gaines. Is that the dumbest thing you've ever seen? This Garth Brooks alter ego?
Yeah.
Oh, is that stupid?
Oh, this is just what a great title for this. To squander his lead.
Vowing to personally rid country of cocaine 1 kilo at a time. During speech to Sierra Club, slapping Condor to death. New campaign slogan, it's time for a president who's only broken 7 of the 10 commandments. Warming up crowds at rallies with clips from adult films he made in the 70s. Calling press conference to announce he hasn't done cocaine in nearly 3 days.
See, look at that, man. It's hurt him.
Wearing the same Girl Scout uniform every day for 3 straight months. Getting arrested while playing the bongos naked.
Yeah.
And sobbing uncontrollably whenever anyone mentions collapse of communism. That man, I saw those police blotter pictures of Matthew McConaughey or whatever the hell his name is.
Where are they?
He looks just totally gone.
Oh, no, I know they say he's a huge partier.
Is he getting chemotherapy? It looks like half his hair is falling out, too.
Oh,
I mean,
he had a
he's
little
totally,
bit
I don't know, he looks really different. Well, of course, he's really buzzed in that picture, too.
Huh, well, you know, heroin.
Really buzzed.
Jimi Hendrix, supposedly, from heroin use, was losing his hair at some point.
Heroin makes your hair fall out? Keith Richards doing pretty good.
Well, that's what's, I know, that's what's so strange.
Can't be that bad.
It's a lot
if he's got his hair.
Well, I know. It's in a lot of these, well, not a lot of them, but a couple of the Jimi Hendrix books, but I hadn't even read about Jimmy even doing heroin. LSD, oh, yeah.
Cy Sperling said he
Yeah.
put Jimmy in Hair Club.
Yeah.
Didn't Cy Sperling say that?
Oh,
Yep.
you're kidding.
No, he's one of his first entertainment customers.
Yeah.
If there was some smack here right now, I would do it.
I don't think Dylan's losing his hair on 90210.
Nope.
He had some big smack problem.
I think it's a fallacy.
Last night on Channel 7, their big to-do was the Fletcher story on Impact at 9:30 with Shelley Smith. Tonight, Channel 2's doing the big sweeps deal. We're going to talk to Scott Lewis in a few minutes. But you watched the Fletcher story, didn't you?
Oh, man, yeah. Boy, that more facts than I thought that they were going to present.
Well, they
Boy, that
really
was
dug
a
into
lot of
his
stuff.
life.
God, great
The
stuff.
black magic part I hadn't heard before.
Oh, I know it.
That's really weird.
Oh,
It came out of
totally.
left field.
Yeah.
He was into Lucifer.
Oh, I
And
know
he
it.
was speaking in tongues in his sleep.
Oh, he was having that's all crap. That's
You
why.
think?
Yeah.
I don't
Anyways,
know.
not too
Why
many
would, you,
people are-
why would you say that you...
That's
Why,
just
why would you
stupid.
pretend something
I
that
know it.
stupid?
Well, it goes to show you what an and also how twisted.
Seen
Because
some of those pictures? It looked like he maybe had the capacity to.
Yeah, no,
make
he did.
something-
There were some menacing-looking pictures.
you
Well, he
what.
is menacing, I
yeah,
guess.
he is. But you know,
Allegedly.
the pictures were very interesting because really the pictures, even the pictures that go way back, he was always looking at the camera with these really weird eyes, deliberately. It's almost like every picture that was taken, he threw that look on there.
It was kind of, you know what the look said to me? Wasn't it kind of an I'm banging a couple of judges look?
Yeah, I'm about to
Yeah.
possibly take out a wife. How about, too, that one stream of video when over the top of it he mentions something about the crimes. He's not going to be, oh, God, what was it?
Oh, after he inhaled the helium?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he talks about crimes and getting away with it. It's just
not
really
responsible for
strange.
whatever I do or something. I
Yeah,
don't know.
but referencing crimes really weird. But
The wife put him through law school. She bought the house.
mhm.
And, oh, man.
And there he is in bed one night, sitting there pretending that he's talking to Lucifer, and Lucifer is talking back at him. And eventually she says, "Why are you trying to scare me?" I think she even knew.
Yeah.
Come on, pal. I don't believe that you're communicating with,
Well, it's too bad she
Lucifer.
didn't dump the loser.
God,
I'm sure
you
her friends
know
were
it.
telling. You could tell her friends just wanted to
Oh, yeah.
spill in the worst way. It was a spill-a-thon.
Uh-huh. It sure was. All those girls grouped together, really spilling.
Nice having some friends, too. Nobody stood up for him at the wedding. It was all her. Wasn't it all her family?
Yeah. He has virtually no friends, despite going to state and everything
Except
else.
judges.
Yeah. Yeah. Both of which must be very embarrassed about now.
Oh, it just gets
My
worse. You know what was
God.
funny was when Shelley was talking about Judge Chernowski.
Yeah.
He's like, and they show Mike Fletcher, and in the background, there's like a picture of a computer, and she mentions that there's some rather explicit photos of Judge Chernowski on his computer, and all of a sudden, her face pops up in the picture of the computer.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, boy.
And the first judge got mad because he was fooling around with the second judge? Was that it?
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Yeah, would not tolerate it.
And this guy would get beeped. These judges were nuts for this guy.
I
He
know
must be
it.
hung or something.
I thought
Judges
that.
were beeping him at all hours of the day and night.
I know.
They'd say, yeah, Judge needs me to fix your cable or something. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm out of here.
Yeah. Had the audacity. Yeah, he was going to leave the house to go, fix phone problems, computer problems, and all this stuff.
Right.
And then, of course, the one moment when he was supposed to babysit, then called her up in front of his wife, and said, "Hey, I've got babysitting duties. I can't fix your computer tonight."
Well, I guess they're going to fight this.
Fix your computer.
God.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
These blood spatters are pretty microscopic, so obviously they're going to fight that court.
Oh, sure.
But there was no one speaking on his behalf, not one person. You would think, and she tried to find people. She
Right.
offered the family a chance to talk.
Yeah.
And his attorney didn't even say anything.
No. And then the gun range. She couldn't stand guns. She was afraid of guns, wanted nothing to do with them. Everyone knew it was weird going to the gun range. And how strange it was it her mother that actually said, "What's he planning on doing, shooting you?"
Yeah, what's he upped his life insurance on you recently or something like that? And she was
Yeah.
just kidding. But.
In fact, that was, I think, the last thing that she had said to her, ironically and horribly.
Well, the case is in January, and is that Court TV's going to do that case?
Oh,
There's no
man,
doubt
yeah.
about that.
Oh, no, they'll be all over that, for sure.
Now, tonight, let's see, this sweeps, of course, everybody's going crazy. Fox is trying to, I think, take some wind out of this Regis Who Wants to Be a Millionaire deal.
I know. That's what gets me, too. It's like, hey, look, it's for whatever reason, it's a great show. It's fun to watch. And sure enough, everybody
Everyone
has
else
to come
has
through.
to do one, yeah.
Oh, I know it, and try to just beat the concept to death, and,
Well, they're going to have Greed, the multi-million-dollar challenge with Chuck Woolery. I have no idea what the show is.
I
If
hope
it's any
it
good.
flops.
I
That's
have no
all
idea.
I know.
And then at 10 o'clock, Scott Lewis, who's going to talk to us in just a second, he's got something that I guess is right up there with the patching crews, or so he says. And they have had some phenomenal, during sweeps, they've really been busting some people big time. And this time it's going to be the police, I do believe. We got Scott there, Scott?
Yeah.
Hey.
It's Mr. Big Stuff.
Hey, how you doing?
It must be sweeps.
It's got to be.
Yeah, I'm about to surface again.
Now, I'm trying to remember you, Scott. You rarely disappoint us. We were a little unhappy when you went up north and the drunken snowmobilers.
I know, I still don't agree with you on that.
That was a little weak, but
Well, we wanted to see more people throwing up and, wallowing all over the place.
Having open sex,
Yeah, you guys are different than the average bear, though.
You were on target, though. People are drinking too much and snowmobiling, obviously, and it was an important story.
I know. The problem is that when I think of snowmobiling, and I've never been, but if I were, I would want to be drunk. Probably. Not necessarily drunk, but certainly feeling pretty good.
That's what happens too often, and a lot of times there are people that never been on a snowmobile before going 100 miles an hour.
Oh, Scott, when are you going to live a little? Come on, cops can't have fun on duty. People can't buy hookers in Windsor.
Man,
Can't
oh,
snowmobile
man.
drunk.
Well,
hookers in Windsor, that was a good story.
You like that one?
Yeah, that was, and it's legal to buy an escort.
Yeah, through an escort service, it's okay.
It is.
And you were
as long as they are registered with the police and you don't talk about sex on the phone. If you just arrange a meeting on the phone, it's legal. What you do when you get in the motel room is your business.
Oh, that's great.
Don't you remember, Scott? You were in the hotel room making the call, right?
I was.
Yeah, in the video. Remember how seductive he looked?
Oh, yeah, big time.
Then the patching cruise. That was, you must have won some awards for that, Scott.
Well, actually, it hasn't happened yet. It hasn't been entered in any kind of awards, but it sure is a story that people are talking about.
I'll never forget the guy peeing into the grate on Michigan Avenue.
That was something else, wasn't it?
That really was in broad daylight.
Now, I know some contracts were severed with the city, but did anyone lose their job that works for the city of Detroit?
Yeah, the two pothole patchers that we featured both lost their jobs. One worked for a private contractor. The other was a city employee. The guy that had the trucking contract also lost his deal with the city.
But what about supervisors, Scott? People who are actually supposed to be in charge of these people and knowing and watching over them.
Well, that was a little surprising because nobody really got any time off or anything. It was my understanding that one supervisor did get something in his file, did get some kind of reprimand. But remember the guy when I brought him the tape and he didn't want to look at it?
Exactly. I remember, and that's just after you went up to that shack, and that guy was, I think, working a puzzle or something.
Yeah, he was doing a jigsaw puzzle. Well, it turned out the supervisor that sent me away with my tape without looking at it, nothing happened to him because he was following orders from the director of the department.
Oh, okay.
Who told him we'll watch it on TV and then we'll respond. But I think once they saw the promotion on TV and they realized how serious it was, they sent somebody down to the station to look at the video before it went on the air.
And what about, what's his face, the Parks...
Lonnie Bates. That was Bill Gallagher's story, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's
I'm sorry.
Bill Gallagher's story. I
Sorry
think
about
there's
that.
still some stuff working on that. But,
Now that guy, I mean, how he couldn't be thrown out on his ass, and in the end result, and I know it's not your responsibility to take care of these people, but the end result is he took time off, didn't he? Take a leave of absence?
Yeah, I think he put in for a medical or something, which kind of put this whole thing on hold. But, there's still some things happening behind the scenes with that. I've talked to Bill, and you can be sure we'll be doing a follow-up on that. But I'll tell you, this pothole thing just triggered an avalanche of tips about public servants.
Good.
We're out there not doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Yeah. Well, that's fantastic because for all the taxes people pay in the city of Detroit, including the extra 3%, they should be getting exceptional service, and they're just getting such a bogus return for their dollar. Mm-hmm. So we need people like you out there to kick some ass.
I don't think those guys you saw in the pothole piece are typical of city workers, but I can tell you right now there are a lot of problems out there. There are people that are not working, and I think Detroit needs to get a little bit tougher on its supervision. And when they catch people, make an example out of them.
Yeah, they should be nailing people. Mm-hmm. We understand that tonight you have your biggest bust yet.
Well, I think it is because of the people that we're talking about. These are police officers. This was a tip I got about some 3 cops who work in downtown Detroit who are not doing what they're supposed to do on duty. Not only are these police officers, but these are bosses. These are guys in uniform who are supposed to be supervising other cops. They should be leading setting examples, and believe me, the example they're setting is not a good one.
You're following cops?
Oh yeah.
Oh man. My God! Didn't they notice?
No, that's kind of surprising too. Not one of them caught us. And when I walk up to talk to these officers about what we saw and what we got on tape, they're all surprised.
Oh, well, the cops probably figure who in their right mind would follow us. We're cops, you know.
And there's a really cool twist at the end. One of these guys does not react the way you would expect him to react. I'll tell you that much.
Oh, brother.
Okay, that either means that he broke down and said, "Oh no, I have sinned against you,"
or you took a punch for the first time.
No, I haven't had that happen yet.
Okay. Well, that's great. I love to see good investigative reporting. And I have a feeling, too, that what you have in Detroit, if it's as good as what you had on the patching crews, Benny Napoleon and people like that will not stand behind these people because I think they've been busting their ass to root some of these clowns out of the police department.
I think they have, too. And you have to remember, this is a big city. It has big city problems, a big city police department. I don't think it's all that unusual to have cops misbehaving on the job, and I think the key to it is what you said. What do they do when they find these things? How do they handle them, and do they take care of business?
Yeah, I don't think those cops will find it as safe a place to be as some of these other people who are in these Yahoo departments in the city, whatever they may be, where the buddy system is operating. It seems like that pretty much disappears with the police.
Well, that's one of the things we're going to do is follow this up and let people know what does happen and whether this problem is taken care of.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, gee, I'm curious to know what we're going to see these police doing. I assume we have some pretty strong video we're going to see?
You will, as always. And, you know, we're Fox. We're Fox. We're not PBS, so it won't be boring, I guarantee it.
Are you going to have that kind of smart aleck attitude through it, too, with the music and at 8:15, they...
You know I wouldn't do that.
I love the way you do that. That makes it a lot of fun.
I think having an attitude gives it a little more of an edge. I think it helps it along.
I think so, and people have told me that they like it done that way. I've found that a little humor and some sarcasm goes a long way to drive home a point. Just have the TV on at 10 o'clock, Fox 2 tonight.
We will be watching.
All right, we'll see you guys.
Good luck with it.
Okay.
So why are you...
Drew and Mike.
When's the last time you freaked out the establishment? You guys are total sellouts.
101 W.
Watch it.
I love it.
F. The Riff. Fox 2 problem solver investigation tonight. They're paid to serve, to protect. But that's not what we caught them doing. We're busting some on-duty cops off doing things you might find arresting. Problem solver Scott Lewis makes his biggest bust yet. Tonight on Fox 2 News at 10. News that works for you.
Fox Thursday starts with an all-new special. America's biggest celebrities misbehaving and caught on tape.
You're a slimy lowlife.
Shocking moments of screaming, fighting, and tirades.
Stop it!
The all-new special Hollywood doesn't want you to see. Shocking celebrity behavior. Then, the other network is giving away $1 million, but Fox is doubling the stakes to over $2 million. In the series premiere of Greed, 8 questions, 1 night, over $2 million. The richest game show in history. Greed, the series premiere, following an all-new special, Shocking Celebrity Behavior.
Tonight, starting at 8 on Fox 2 Detroit. Another WRIF.
.958 at WRIF Detroit. Trudy News brought to you by the Master Lock Steering Wheel Lock. It's available at all Murray's Discount Auto Stores. It's the only one tough enough to be called a Master Lock.
Okay, Mr. Lane.
Trudy News.
What the hell happened in the sky is what they want to know now. That plane which plunged. It was on a supersonic collision course with the Atlantic Ocean, and then suddenly, at 17,000 feet, it ascends and dives again and cracks up before impact. Explain that, John Nance, aviation expert.
What the hell happened that night?
It was an airplane that no longer has a powered elevator, because when an aircraft like this speeds up, it will naturally have its nose come up, and that could explain not only the supersonic or near supersonic flight, but also the dishing out and the climb back to 24,000 feet.
That guy. Hey, this is one where we have to wait for the black boxes on this one. This is crazy.
That's what they're saying.
Yeah, this is just... Anything else is wild speculation.
And not according to him, John Nance seemed to be firmly in the driver's seat.
I guess.
On that one. Slaughter in Seattle, 2 dead from the killer there who disappeared from the shipyards after wasting 2 people and injuring 2 more. Dad of that Xerox repairman in Honolulu volunteering to fetch one of Byron Usigi's guns from home and take it to him and let him kill himself with one of those guns.
Why didn't you just buy...
It's called Coleman Usigi.
Why didn't you just buy one gun and Xerox the rest?
Where's the old man's number?
The fugitive stolen ride, the guy that busted out of that prison in Ypsilanti, they found it now. It's in Muskegon Township in western Michigan. Truck allegedly was driven by that murderer who took the wire cutters and made his way out of prison there in Ypsilanti, stole that truck, drove it all the way west on 96 without being seen somehow, and then just parked it behind a business in Muskegon Township, which is, of course, on the shores of Lake Michigan. So where'd he go from there?
Well, he could have
Down on a boat?
He's in Chicago.
You think?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we're better to blend in.
Yeah, get lost. Yeah. Just like the fugitive.
Oh, I forgot. He's insane and has psychiatric problems. He wouldn't know how to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
They are going to sentence that Aaron McKinney possibly to death after convicting him yesterday of killing Matthew Shepard in Wyoming. However, that still doesn't please gays who were totally angry that this was an aggressive act against a gay, but now they don't like the idea of an aggressive act against the killer.
We feel awful because as gay people, the death penalty is a violation of human rights. It's wrong in all cases, including where someone has committed a murder of a gay person.
You are wrong, sir.
Hi.
Wrong.
Oh, I thought you were going to elaborate on that. Sorry.
No.
You are wrong, sir.
We've all been hit by the Wiggy Club.
Oh, yeah. Because we get up too early, and the early bird gets the worm all right. It can actually kill you, according to a study in the UK that found people who rise before the sun shines, i.e. people who get up at 3:34 in the morning, have a higher level of stress hormones in their systems.
Definitely.
It can be harmful to them, and they tend to have more muscle aches and more bad moods.
That's it.
One of the things we really hate are those new long-distance service programs. The FCC says it's had a huge pile of papers of complaints from phone users who are fed up with those dialing programs that have all the funky combinations in front of them, which they think is confusing and misleading. And the FCC says some of the companies hawk them, and they're not always upfront about the rates, the monthly fees, and the other charges you get gouged with.
I cannot believe how much time I spend talking to people about phone service. Like, it used to be just one very small decision you made once, and that was the end of it till the end of time. But now there's 9,000 companies that have to call you every other day.
Yeah.
And I tell them, too, like, don't ever call me again.
Yeah.
And there'll be 8 new companies that'll turn up the next day.
From a woman who snickered when I said, don't call me again, as if she was going to call me again.
Tell you the other thing associated with phones driving me crazy, and it's been said before, but it just seems to be at an all-time high, and that is these electronic menus. Anywhere you call, it's just like choice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or star to hear them all again, and then going in and picking 2, and then getting another array of selections, and again and again and again. And then occasionally you fall through the cracks, and none of them quite apply. It's just really disgusting.
This portable phone, I think I'm going to need like 1,000 minutes a month eventually.
Oh,
it's just,
Drew,
I talk on it all the time. I don't have to be organized
This is
anymore,
what I told you. This is what I say. Exactly. I had to bump mine to 500 minutes.
500?
Yeah. It's amazing. Although now that I'm closer to home, it won't be as much. But man, when you're in a car for an hour and 20 minutes, you just take everybody that you need to call and get it over with.
Okay, Mr. Clark.
Time management.
Yeah, that's true.
You know.
The New York Daily News had their own little test. You know how Danny Glover was popping off the other day about how he can't get picked up?
Yeah, how
by
does
a
he know
cab
it's
driver?
maybe people who don't like his movies? What's he wearing when these people don't pick him up?
hadn't
Maybe he's
thought
not
about that.
dressed very well.
So they...
You think he's a slob?
Yeah.
Well, he's an actor, but look at him. He's in jeans and a shirt and looks kind of sloppy.
People are just driving by going, I don't even know who the hell you are.
It turns out that the New York Daily News did its own little study. They put one of their black reporters out there on the street trying to hail a cab, and they said 6 out of 13 yellow taxis stopped for the reporter who was headed uptown.
What happened to the other 7? They just would skip him?
I guess. Just whizzed right past. And they said he was dressed respectably, too.
Well, why doesn't Danny Glover, he's got enough money, why doesn't he just have a limo?
Yeah, what is he? Yeah, get a limo.
What is he getting in a cab for anyway? Is he tight?
I don't know. He was piling in, though, with his kids, and there were so many of them, apparently, that he had to sit in the front seat in the cab. Didn't
Well, no
want
wonder
any part
nobody
of
wants to
that.
pick him up. He's got a bunch of kids with him.
I know it. All right, change that. He can hire a school bus. Follow him everywhere.
Danny Glover.
Yeah.
In his school bus.
Yeah. Just jammed with brats.
Al Pacino was on Good Morning America with Diane Sawyer today, and of course he's hawking that new movie that he's in called The Insider. It's about the tobacco industry.
Tell him I want it wall to wall with John Daniels.
Don't you mean Jack Daniels?
He may be Jack to you, son, but when you've known him as long as I have, that's a joke. Hello.
Al Pacino, cool as ever, except seemed to not understand which way Sawyer was going with some of her questioning this morning. She was sort of out of it.
Do you ever still feel lost inside your own body in a movie set? I mean, I imagine on a stage that is a dance, you know, because you've done it so long. But on a movie set, do you ever feel your hands are too big? Is it physically just such a different exercise?
What?
I don't know. I had no idea where she was going. She
You know
didn't
what?
either.
There's something wrong with her. Something terribly wrong with her.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Mike
Hear that
Wallace.
voice? There's fire under that dress.
I'd like to have her once.
Well, she's just about wiggy enough. I think she'd take you.
Yeah, I think she would.
Mike Wallace doesn't like the way he's portrayed in this movie, which opens tomorrow.
Pacino's just gone crazy. I don't know what's the matter with him.
He's
Hear that
guy-
voice?
Sawyer's
There's fire under that dress.
Somehow,
What a ride.
there was a commercial during the very first broadcast of Brian Gumbel's morning TV program where commercial was
What was it for? I'm sorry.
the National Enquirer.
Really?
Promoting its front page story, which just happened to be why Bryant hates Katie.
Hear that voice? It's fire under that dress.
CBS is a little embarrassed by running that thing. Little Joe C. from Kid Rock breaking camp to come home for health reasons. The reason being he's got that celiac disease, the disorder which affects Mickey Redman, a gluten or wheat allergy that interferes with digestion, and it requires Joe C. to be hooked up to dialysis and take 65 pills a day. Someone noticed he just wasn't his good old Joe C. self when Kid Rock performed at the Palace. I didn't actually witness that, but somebody reported that it's expected that he's going to whip himself back into form for the New Year's Eve extravaganza with Metallica and Nuge, though. From Nuge to a stooge, Curly, I think, would be appalled, and so is a group called the Dairy Education Board, which doesn't have milk, and they're fed up with the milking of those milk ads featuring celebrities wearing those dorky milk mustaches.
Oh, those are dorky.
It's over! Stop it!
God, that was stupid right out of the gate.
It's not over, though, because the Got Milk people got a picture of Curly and doctored it with a milk mustache.
But they got milk. They need to get a clue. It's stupid.
The Dairy Education Board, their anti-milk people, are on a counterattack, pointing out that Curly, Jerome Howard, had to be hospitalized for obesity back in 1945, suffered from several strokes, retinal hemorrhages, and high blood pressure before dying at the age of 45 in 1952. Not your typical healthy milk drinking profile.
Oh, God. Again, I wish these people would occupy themselves with something constructive that applies to all of us.
Is that the dumbest thing in any movie ever?
And it took off. It took off.
Hey, he won the Oscar for it.
I know it. I hated the movie just because of that. It's nothing else. I thought it was so stupid.
I thought the plot was ridiculous.
It distracted me completely. It was so asinine.
I don't want to see any story about some asshole just run around going.
I know it exactly.
Richard Gere, sexiest man alive for 1999?
Been there, done that. Come on, we've heard about the gerbil since then.
Boring.
People magazine says maybe it's because
There's no further questions, Your Honor.
Because of his appeal to possibly both men and women?
Just sort of a vibe about somebody, and this guy had it this year.
That's his publicist pounding away at the people at People.
And Matthew McConaughey's church is actually standing behind Matthew's right to bang the bongos nude in his home in Austin, Texas.
He's with
Bruce Paltrow.
He's with somebody?
Hey, look, he can bang the bongos nude in his own home. Why do we have to hear about it?
The minister of his church says the only people who think it's wrong to be naked in your own home are the police and my wife. Trudy Daniels, Riff Rock and Roll Radio News.
God, these people take their problems and go away. God, pain in the ass.
The father of the guy that shot up that Xerox joint has reiterated that he wants to take a gun down to his kid so he can shoot himself. You want to call this guy Hiro? Yu Segi, is that his name?
His name is Hiro, too?
You never know that you're my hero. H-I-R-O.
That's, boy, that's a pretty nice statement out of him.
Yeah.
That's real great.
That's what I say.
Yeah, deliver a gun to the kid so he can try to find some balls. Blast himself into eternal damnation.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm sorry to bother you. It's Drew and Mike calling on WRIF Radio. We're trying to get Mr. Yu Sugi Hiro on the phone. Is this Hiro?
Beg your pardon?
Is this Hiro?
No.
No? We're calling from a radio station in the States, and we were just wondering if Hiro could talk to us. We'd heard about he had some ideas for his son, and we want to see if he...
No, I'm sorry.
No. Who's this?
This is Dennis, the son.
Oh, okay. You're Hiro's son?
Yes.
Oh, you're the brother that got your brother to give up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Boy, that must have been tough.
I guess, yeah. We've spoken to the family attorneys, and they've advised us not to say anything right now.
I don't know why, because you're not in any trouble.
Yeah, right.
You didn't do anything wrong.
He's the one
other than talk to him.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But anyway,
is your dad? He's not there?
Well, 5 o'clock in the morning over here.
Oh, really? I thought time... I didn't realize there was a time difference. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I thought time was the same.
Okay.
Everywhere.
Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye. I was thinking they were ahead of us. I don't know. Hawaii.
That was a ridiculous phone call.
Okay, Mr. Lane.
It was worth it just to see if time was the same every day.
Yeah. Who would think?
Oh, as soon as he said it was the brother, I felt terrible because that was the guy that was there for 5 hours trying to talk him out of killing himself, which is exactly what he needed to do. So I wanted to tell him, "Oh, dude, what'd you do that for?" But it's his brother.
I know. That's the problem. Too bad we didn't
Even
get
though
the
he's
dad.
got the murderer gene. Still feel bad for him.
Too bad. It's hilarious that something of that severity and importance would end with "time is the same everywhere." But then again, it makes perfect sense. It's the way our world is. Just downright wacky.
Oh, well.
Yeah, balls.
Well, the father, again, he reiterated that he wishes he could take a gun down to his kid so he could blow himself away.
That's just awesome.
Nice being on the same page with your other son. Talks him out of it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so true. So true. Amazing how when it comes to something like that, then these big tough guys, waltzing around through companies with guns, suddenly no balls anywhere. No guts in sight for miles.
All right, we'll be back tomorrow. We'll have some donut shop terrorism and a whole lot more. Man, today was fun, actually. We had Scott Lewis from Channel 2. It was great to have him on. He's got that big thing at Channel. He's really ballyhooing this thing.
Oh, yeah.
Got the Detroit cops doing something. And Dana Delaney, too, thanks to her. She's on that CBS thing Sunday night and Wednesday night.
Yeah.
The Shake, Rattle, and Roll.
She was great. Great to talk to.
The OK Mr. Lane guy was back. He was strong.
Even got a Mr. Clark in there, too. The last second. Yeah, it was fun talking to all of them. It was good.
So we'll, and Dennis Yuyasegi there at the end of the show. Thank him for being a very special guest. In spite of the fact that...
Well, and then he learned that time should be the same everywhere.
That there are people that don't know any better.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, we'll leave it a gratuitous rock star. Thank you, Doug Puddle. Are you ready?
Ready.
Thank you, Detroit.
Thank you, sir. Coolness aside, I'd like to say thank you.
Say it! Say it!
Thank you and stuff.
Thank you. You're beautiful people.
Thank you, Detroit.
Hey, thank you. It's a beautiful thing.
Thank you, media.
Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you.
We have to thank you for that.
Well, thank you very much, Drew and Mike.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Thank you very much. Well, thank you. Thank you again.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thanks for everything.
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you for coming. Thank you. Thank you. Detroit, Michigan. The home of rock and roll.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, and God bless America.
Bye-bye, son of a bitch.
Okay, Mr. Clark. Okay, Mr. Lane.